them to show what they can do, but if Wisla don't win this one, I would be really surprised, especially considering what we just saw against a very established roster in alternate attacks.
So now we've got the Great British Hope here. Mezzy, are you excited for the return of UKCS, apparently in the form of Cloud9, which is not the turn of events I expected, but it's 2020, so I guess it makes sense. Do you believe that we're going to have a legit UKCS roster?
Of course we are. It's going to come. We will have our resurgence, and, well, Mezzy's going to need to show us what he can do here, because Minio's managed to get himself an easy entry pick, a free A bomb site, and a free bomb plant at that. I think Adam is...
Oh, look at Rusty.
Oh, no, he's moving now. There we go. Rusty on the flank will get one. Now 4v4, but look at Minio's positioning here. Zero, that's just an easy frag, an easy kill at that, and Mezzy, well... We've hyped you up, and he's just had his head ripped off by Jedka in towards Palace. Rusty able to get himself another. He does really well on these pistols, but they're both desperately low on HP. And as Bonchek takes out one, Rusty, he wants these frags, he wants these fights, but he's got 9 HP. What? Surely not. Another quick one-tap. Finally, Minio will deal with him, but, I mean, quad kill from Rusty? You cannot ask much more.
Yeah, that was spicy. He needed someone to help him out, someone to give him something. He had no health. He was just hitting headshots left, right, and center. It got to the point where I'm scared for Minio to peek into that, even though every ounce of my being says you'll win this fight. Well, maybe not. So that was a nice spicy start to the pistol round. I also just have to get one quick jab in. I think in order to have a resurgence, you have to have had a surgence at one point in time. I don't know if that's been the case for UKCS, at least in CSGO. Maybe we're talking back in Source. CGS, but it's been a long time, Jack. It's been a long time. Mezzy's gonna get a nice kill with the Deagle, so maybe here's where we're going. We're gonna get that first Surgence. Rusty, another multi-kill coming in, and suddenly this round is anything but assured for Wisla. And now this is interesting. Because, oh, what? Rusty? I don't even know if he saw that player. He spams it, he gets the confirmation shots back, he gets the third kill, and he wasn't touched. What is happening here? Sparrow last alive, and at this point for Sparrow, he wants to do some damage, maybe get a bomb plant, but he's been spotted. A minute on the clock, so he could bail. But if he doesn't, I don't know that he's going to get much of an opportunity here. There's still a player on site. There's still a scout watching from market. He's now spotted the player out catwalk. There is no safe haven.
So many angles, so little time. He has managed to weasel his way out of van at least, starting to clear the back of sight, starting to clear towards the bench, takes the dink, manages to find the frag onto Era regardless, but low HP. Rusty again. Quad kill, quad kill. That's 8 frags in 2 rounds, including a losing round on pistol. That is just ridiculous. And CT Force Buy, you don't often see players being able to afford FAMAS, but as soon as he could, he does so much work with it. And as a result, Wisla, their Force Buy's looking really rough. No bomb plant behind it, so 5 Deegs and no util at all. This is looking like a very awkward start from them. 1-1, and now really being put in the hot seat by Era. Nice headshot from the first from Jedka. Can't quite adjust for the second, though. And that trade was really, really crucial. Again, Adam taking a dangerous peek into Underpass. We'll just back out of it, but there's damage done onto a couple of players here, and Zero really needs to steady the ship on Sphero as he starts to take some tags.
I'm just going to call it now. This is going to be one of those games where I have no idea what's happening. Everything is going to be madness. I already feel it deep in my bones. These D kills are amazing. Sparrow, nice use of the Molly to get him out of play, but now we're back down. Hades has done some damage. He's done some more. Rusty's quite low. The man with the 4Ks himself already has 2 in this round, but he might need another 4K to bail his team out of this. And they've still got good control. The pincers coming into the site. You can see King Mezzy wants to work his way back in to jungle, but there's still a player in Khan who could punish him, and Hades is now coming to wrap around into dark. He's not going to check it, though. Rusty, okay, looking a little rusty on that one, but he does wind up with his 3rd kill, even though he's awkwardly tracking the player. Notice there's a player above him. He's lost his teammate. He's all alone, but what? He's got some deep play of his own. Another 4K for Rusty. This time, the ace! Okay, let's talk about this. A 4K in pistol round, a 4K in the 2nd round on a Force Buy, and then an ace in the 3rd to recover a round they were losing. He's 13-1. Screw Mezzy. Let's get Cloud9 Rusty going.
I was about to say, Henry's going to be calling them up and saying, can we have a look at some more of these players? That is just ridiculous.
What is happening?
Mezzy has 1 kill. The 3 remaining players on GamerLegion have absolutely none. It is as much of a one-man show as I think you will ever see in a game of Counter-Strike. And he's really bailed his team out there as well, because that force spike from Wisla very nearly works out for them. They very nearly managed to stick the landing with the Deagles. And the heroics from Rusty, they're going to keep GamerLegion in it a little while longer. No bomb plant, of course, for Wisla, because Rusty just denies absolutely everything. Down onto pistols. And again, hoping for some kind of damage out of this one. I like this angle from Hades. If Adam gets over-aggressive, if he's too keen on the MP9, that'll be a free opening. But at least for now, GamerLegion not going to be losing any players early.
This has to be so frustrating if you're Wisla. You're looking at the board and going, we almost won every round. What is happening? How is this one guy killing everybody? But we'll see. I mean, the flip side is that GamerLegion, nothing's working for them really except for Rusty. So if Rusty breaks down in a round, will the rest be able to step up? But we'll see. We may not need to ask that because it may just be the Rusty show. Zero, oh, come on. You got to get something here. You've just been spotted. They've managed to push him back. Zero should have full control. It's just against default pistols. No one has armor. He's going to get his first kill. Looking for more. Should be able to get that as well. There's no way they should be able to do anything into this round. It's a pretty straightforward setup. But Sparrow hits the first. Now things are getting a bit riskier, a bit friskier. Sparrow goes down. That's one of the deeks out. I think if Hades hits something here in towards mid, maybe this could get interesting. But Mezzi's already found one. There's the spot. Now Hades is known. He's going to back away. He's going to get the kill. So at the very least, this is going to be a certain degree of expensive. But without a bomb plant, I don't think it much matters. Pawn check goes down with that bomb. And it's just left to Hades. If he finds one more kill, this round is okay for Wisla. If he doesn't, I mean, we weren't expecting much from this, but it might be the chance for everybody else on GamerLegion to actually wake up.
Yeah, it certainly looks like they need a little bit of time. Their morning coffee not quite settled in yet. And yeah, Hades, I mean, they've done a fantastic job already. 8 seconds left. He really needs to get on with it and die, though. He's going to get himself a freebie. Mezzi, no idea on his positioning. He really wants to try and stick this. 1 second left. He's going to have to bail out. And, of course, he doesn't get any money because he somehow managed to stay alive. So he's got 2K coming into this one. He's going to buy his armor and his utility, but there won't be any rifles available for him. He's going to be stuck down on that deagle. Not that it's really mattered for Wisla thus far. And again, GamerLegion, they have not given themselves any kind of stability initially. They are fully reinvesting time and time again. There is no cushion to fall back on if this round goes south. So for Wisla, despite some really unfortunate losses, they've got a huge opportunity to just reset the economy entirely here. Rusty, trying to play aggressively up short, will be forced back by the util and have to think about resetting that angle. GamerLegion, they want this mid control. That's a beautiful pop flash from Adam to get himself into underpass and find the opening pick. And off the back of that, they should be able to clear out most of B. You can see Hades on the deagle actually scrambling to try and deny it, but Adam's going to get his second. Now 5-on-3. It should just be a matter of trading efficiently for the CT side.
It's a lot of their utility down as well for Wisla. They don't really have much left to work with. They've got 2 mollies and a flashbang, and you can see how far back they are pushed. Adam's going to get more, so this is the Adam ran now. 3K for him, and just a complete shutdown of everything that Wisla wanted to do here. Finally, we're going to see Jedker start to draw some blood, at least a little bit of damage. If they can get 2 more kills in this round, they can keep kicking that can of a very fragile economy down the road. But it's a big ask at this point. They've only got 2 players remaining. They got nothing to work with. They got 45 seconds. And this time, they really can't afford to die after time. Can't have that happen again. Or to just, you know, be off kilter with the economy. You want to see Wisla start to get on track because we know what they can do. And honestly, this start of the game has just been so off kilter with what Rusty has done that I don't think we can draw many conclusions from the first few rounds. The rounds were insane. It was just Rusty killing everybody. Otherwise, it was honestly a pretty good setup for Wisla, and we're still seeing it. Good damage from Jedker. If he gets 1 more, that's fantastic. If he gets a bomb plant, that's fantastic. He's not going to get a bomb plant. No, he might. He's pulling off of it, and he doesn't have the kill or the bomb plant. He came up against Rusty, and Rusty doesn't miss.
Yeah, I mean, Rusty's 14-1 in 5 rounds. That's just insanity. But I mean, he was 13-1 inside of 3, so he's slowing up a little bit.
There's ADR here, 264 ADR. Casual, light work.
That's just not fair, is it? It really isn't. And Wisla, I think they're going to be feeling a little bit cheated as well, as once again, They do find themselves down on these pistols, and for the first time, GamerLegion have managed to build up a little bit of cash. It is very fragile, and this fast B could do a lot of work. Ponchek already all the way out, but Rusty has read the situation beautifully. The util has done good damage onto Jedka as well. He's stuck towards the van, isolated from his teammates, and Rusty is just on a tear. Mezzi chimes in with one of his own as well. Rusty with another triple. He wants another quad kill. He will finally be removed from the equation, and Hades will be dealt with regardless. Rusty, I mean, there are just no words at this point. 17 and 2, 276 ADR now. He is just pushing those numbers up and up.
I was going to say, usually this is where a player starts to slow down. No, his ADR goes up after that round. He gets 3 kills. This is insanity. I thought he was going to get the 4th, and that would have been his 3rd quad kill of the game, not even counting his ace. He's now had 2 quad kills, an ace, a 3K, and 1 round where he only got 1 kill. What a scrub. This is an absurd performance. This is starting to feel almost comical. I mean, you can hear me laughing. I just can't believe it. This is madness. And if you're Wisla, again, you have to be looking at this and going, okay, everything is fine except for this one guy who apparently has just decided that he's Super Saiyan today. That, you know, whatever he put in his breakfast cereal when he woke up this morning, whatever he had for lunch, we need to get that recipe right now because holy cow, this guy's on one. Look at the ground. They've already taken it towards underpass, though. Era's going to be smoked off. Has to back off of it. And this could be a decent setup for a take-in from mid towards A. They're actually going to boost up into the window, but Era's watching for it, and he's just heard the player drop down. So now it's a little bit questionable. So they've taken this mid. There hasn't been any challenge from GamerLegion, but what can they do with it? Smoke has to come out from Era to prevent himself from burning alive. Loses a bit of health, but it's nothing substantial. And now Spiro wants to come in the window. But Era's just made a noise jumping back down. This is a shadow fight here. Phantoms that they're dueling with. And Spiro's just going to hold this as long as possible so he can get the punish. But Era might have it. The smoke fades. Here comes the shot. It's the kill from Spiro. He wins the standoff, but Adam is there for the trade. And he's locking this down. Gets the second as well as Spiro was so low on health. Even numbers still. This could be Weasel's round, but they've only left themselves 20 seconds. So they got to go. Trades are even, but here comes Rusty. Here comes Rusty. About to take the crown off of Mezzi because so far he's been the king of the server. Hades looking for this. 8 seconds. They're going to plant. They're going to stick. They're going to assume. And it works out. Hades kills the Titan. And now it's on to Mezzi. The new boy on the block. As he spotted Jedka, he has indeed pulls off the clutch. 2-piece in the round for him. And that is going to be a 6th for GamerLegion. Every single one of these gun rounds look tight, look crazy, look insane. But GamerLegion are coming out on top, and at this point, they're 5 rounds up on the competition.
Yeah, they really are doing a fantastic job of just punishing everything, right? Mezzi, he was out in the open against an AWPer there. One missed shot, the AWP goes down. Then it's a 1v1 with Jedka already on low HP, and he's not going to miss those opportunities. He is a fairly consistent clutch player for this CT side, and he's doing really well. I mean, Rusty's popping off, but he's there. He's consistently, you know, supporting, finding the occasional frag, the util over the top, and this is a really good look for GamerLegion so far. They've combined well as a team. They really seem to be having that synergy that we always talk about, and their CT side just seems to be trading beautifully efficiently. Again, though, Wisla able to get some free control of middle, a couple of nades, and they've managed to sneak Sphero all the way into ladder room and bottom mid control through Minio as well, who's actually going to start exploring his options up corners again. This ace split looks very popular. That's a really nice shot from Era, though. Finds his first in towards Con, and now they should know the jig is up. They should have some kind of an idea with so much presence committed out of the ramp already. Zero be forced out. Molotov not gonna work. He finds the frag regardless. Hades goes down, and now Ponchek with the bomb on his back, already taking a dink, already low on HP, will be an easy find for Adam as he pounces from Firebox. And 4v2, Jedka and Sphero, I mean, they're so isolated as well. Sphero's all the way up short. The bomb is in the middle of the A bomb site. They need a little bit of a miracle.
Okay. There you go. All right. Spam a spot, find a kill. Adam's out of it. Now it's a 2v3. This is winnable. And look at the position from Sparrow. Look at Sparrow. Rusty has no idea. Nope, Rusty has every idea because, of course, you can't slip things past Rusty. And I think he just spotted him. And Sparrow, well, this man's playing on black bars because he did not see that he'd been known. But this might still work out. Is Eero just watching the angle? He's got to be, right? Yeah, he is indeed. There's going to be the kill. perfectly done. So the spot came in from Rusty. He promptly realized that Sparrow had no idea because Sparrow just kept going. And so that one was easy to confirm. And honestly, that's the first round where GamerLegion win by more than just the seat of their pants, right? They win with 3 alive. They look quite comfortable in the post plant. They're starting to settle in. And Wisla have just been blown out to this point. I will say, it's quite a stark contrast to what we saw in Overpass from them. They're looking timid in their site takes. They're sort of meandering out towards Tetris and then kind of freezing up, not really getting past the shadow position, not really getting onto site proper. This time, aggression comes in. That's not the ticket. They wait for it, and they find the kill, and now it's a rifle found. This could get interesting. Up a player with the M4 on Minio. They've taken ground. Here we go. Smokes up. Decisive ground. Plant the bomb with more than 10 seconds left on the dang clock. And now they're going to flash through smoke. I love this. Sparrow's going to get a kill. He'll be traded, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it to take down Era. Rusty's back in towards Ticket, and he has been the titan of the server so far, and he'll already get started, and that's the rifle gone. But this is already a much better round for Wisla. They lose a second to the Molly setup. There's a player down in mid, though. Adam's been aware of it. He figured out the timing. They'll make the retake happen. That looks good for GamerLegion, but I still think that was a promising round now for Wisla.
A couple more timings go their way, and that round looks very, very different. It could have got very awkward very quickly. GamerLegion, I think they do a good job of the damage control at the very least, because Zero goes in early. He gets taken down pretty much for free. Era then 1-for-1 traded through a smoke, and at that point, with the bomb down, you're thinking, okay, this T-side could really have some legs. But Minio, perhaps a little over-aggressive, trying to peek stairs with Rusty into CT. That gets them the rifle down. And from there, they do a pretty good job of holding on to things. Zero fully blind, the opposition fully blind. But it's 3 quick frags for Wisla. And, well, they're just going to up the pace. Say, fine, we'll just remove everyone from the server, see what you can do about it. Mezzi able to claw one back from Van, but now his position known. And there are players all over the shop for Wisla. Ponchek going to take a lot of damage in towards the apps, but Minio reacts quickly, takes out Mezzi, and leaves just Adam remaining in a 1v4. And okay, maybe that's more like it from Wisla. Ponchek gets the last, and that one really was just a case of 3 players winning their 1v1s early, and the round was gone before it ever really started.
Yeah, they also threw that gas pedal straight down to the floor, right? We've seen so many rounds where they're leaving 20 seconds on the board by the time they're actually going for a take, where they were waiting for aggression, waiting for something to work out their way. This time it's like, screw it, we're going to go out, we're going to make our own success. We go fast, we win our individual fights, which is what we saw them doing on Overpass again and again and again. Suddenly it's a different story. And because so many of those rounds for GamerLegion came right down to the wire, this is the end of their economy. They've got a double up setup. They've got 2 rifles, one of which is a FAMAS, and they've got a Deagle. And if they lose here, suddenly Wisla can make this half look respectable. After being dominated through the first 10 rounds, they can flip the scales. Still, the double up will be tough to get past. Era's been pushed out of apartments, misses his shot. That may be his only opportunity. Mezzi is holding court in market, so both ops towards the same side of the map is a little bit of an interesting choice here for GamerLegion, and we might see an adjustment come through. No, apparently not.
It's a risky call picking up those double ops, and yeah, both of them over towards B, the more rushable site of the 2. Definitely feels like an odd call, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on this A-hold as now the execute starts to come through. Rusty behind that smoking jungle, going to be put under pressure. His teammates going down all around him. He'll still manage to find one, but the support is gone. He's going to have a second through the smoke as well. Ponchek goes down, and he single-handedly kept his team in this. Era gets an opportune pick, and now out of nowhere, GamerLegion find themselves with the man advantage. Jedka posted in CT, Sphero in the middle of this bomb site, and GamerLegion, they've got a real chance to get back into this. Their main issue is that the double ops are still up, and Rusty, well, he's just burnt to 18 HP inside a Molotov, trying to be that proactive rifle, because he knows there's only AWPs behind him, right? And if Wisla don't peek into anything, they're going to have a horrid time. They managed to upgrade Era onto the AK. He rips the head off the first, and now Jedka in the 1v2. Mezzi picking himself up an AK-47 as well. There's no kit. They need to get on this, and they need to do it now, but Mezzi's done a fantastic job taking the early fight, winning his gunfight, even dropping an AWP close to his teammate for the recovery. And, well, it's the Rusty show yet again. Those 2 frags, absolutely crucial to get his team back into that round.
Apparently someone gave him the glaive config. I will say, though, for the first time this game, Rusty has dropped below 200 ADR. So, come on, Rusty. Pick up your weight. He is 22-5 through 11 rounds. He has 2 kills a round and only 5 deaths. 22-5. These are absurd numbers. These are... This man could drop 40 this game, and it would only take 18 more kills. Like, what is happening? I'm losing my mind here, Jack.
Yeah, this was not what I expected. I think that's safe to say at the very least. Rusty, yeah, apparently he's realized that if you put up numbers, then big orgs are going to come looking after Cloud9 signed Mezzi, and has decided that he's just going to start showing up to the server. And I don't think Wisla were expecting this either. It really looks like they've been caught off guard just by the sheer amount of individual skill that this CT side are displaying so far. And again, GamerLegion looking to be proactive. Adam and Rusty taking mid control. The counter is a fast play out of the A ramp with bomb included. So this T side fairly hard committed early on to the A site take. 4 players here. The late lurk mid in the form of Minio. Can they stick the landing? Nice frag from Minio to get the first. He goes down to 12 HP, but that's going to have Rusty checking 2 angles at once. And it should give the rest of his team a relatively easy entry to this bomb site. Hades looking for the CT player as well. Wisla with a nice read on this setup. And they've got a lot of presence to commit to it.
We're back to these sort of timid A takes, though, and this is making me nervous. This time they should have enough time with the smoke still up to get the bomb plant, but you can see GamerLegion are just set up to pounce, and one of those players is Rusty! And pounce he shall! That bomb did go down versus the cost of Hades' life, and now Rusty's on the scene, and we know what he can do. He's already aware that a player's got to be coming through from mid. That's just how this setup works. You expect it, so Rusty's watching for it. He's got to find the timing, but of course he will. It's Rusty. What do we expect from this guy? We expect dominance at this point in the server. So they're working their way back through. He knows where the next one's peeking from, but he will lose that fight, and that's critical. That might be the round, because now, once again, Ira and Mezzi are trying to retake with double ops. There's going to be the shot from Ira. He's got one more to find, but he's out of time. He's got a kit. He's picked it up. He's going with the USP, and it works! He's got no time. He has to back off, but he's killed everyone. How does he win that duel with the USP? Wisla get their third, but at what cost, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, this game is just indescribable. I feel like we just got to sit back and watch the madness unfold at this point.
Mind.
Because
I thought EUCS was supposed to make more sense most of the time. I came over from NA where everyone roasts us. This is madness.
You've brought it with you. That's what it is. You've come over from NA and
Don't you blame me. There's UKCS players in the server. I'm blaming them.
Oh, man. Ira, he wants to be aggressive. He knows that behind him there's just 3 Deagles and an MP9, but already brought down to 61. The Molotov to force him out of that connector peak as well. Wisla seems to be the only way they win rounds is just by pressing that gas to the floor, and they've managed to get their mid control again very early on. A little short on the util, but that's not going to matter because there's really nobody on the GamerLegion side of things who can bring any real util to stall things. There's a molly and 2 flashes on Ira, a smoke on 0, but that's it. And is there a starting to queue up over towards that B bomb site? There's only 2 Deagles there for Mezzi and, of course, the man of the hour, Rusty. It's going to be a question of how much damage they can do. If they can really make this retake viable, flashes will come over the top. Sfero and Ponchek will go. The bomb behind them, the split from short as well. So many angles, no time at all. Mezzi now the only player here, and as Ponchek removes his head, Ira is sticking around far longer than I would have liked to see in towards Kitchen. He's going to get caught on the retreat. And that's the AWP down as well. This is recoverable a half at least at this point for Wisla. They're going to go hunting as well. Hades try and take a little bit more out of the hands of this CT side. He will get taken out by 0, so that's an AK as well that Adam can look to recover. Maybe give his team a little more firepower moving forwards.
This gets interesting. If that AK survives, this is now dangerous, to be quite frank, and I don't think Wisla can justify hunting. They don't have the cash themselves. They need the economy. They know their opponents are going to be limited into the next round because of the investment they've made into this, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It'll have 1,900 loss bonus, so there won't be much to build on, but you've got that AK, you've got that MP9, you can stack those towards the site, you can do something interesting. maybe drop a couple more guns for your teammates to try and salvage. I don't know. This one could be spicy. I think it was very fortunate they got that kill coming up catwalk with Rusty turned the wrong direction, because it was starting to feel like one of those rounds where Rusty kills 4. And they just got him out of there before that even starts. So, GamerLegion, 9 rounds. It's already a phenomenal half. We do have to say that, but Wisla have a chance to turn this into a 9-6. You're going to win this next round, presumably. I say presumably. We've seen it go wrong before. That would get them to 5. It's already a decent recovery. If they can get that last one, things are looking downright positive. Rusty's going to come out. He's just got a USB. Certainly he can't get kills here, Jack. Certainly not. Adam's dead. Rusty's now being flanked. No, he cannot. Not in this situation. His magic powers seem like they may have just run out.
Yeah, all that magic seems to have gone, and I think given the start that Wisla had, a 10-5, even a 9-6 would be absolutely fantastic, given how difficult it was for them. Zero, able to get at least 1 frag out with the AK, make it a second, that's bomb. How have they got control of bomb? A dink onto Minio, but it will be Era who goes down, and if Messi can find 1 frag here to bring it back into a 2-on-2, Zero is really feeling like he could do this. He's got the bomb in his grasps as well. That Molotov from Sphero, though, is going to force him out of that peak, and that will allow the recovery. That will allow the A-bomb site plant. They know Messi is the traditional B anchor. They know Zero is up on shore, but he's still going to hit his shot. Sphero's gone down. And how has this ever become a 2-on-2? Ponchek is going to get the benefit of Minio flanking in towards the B bomb site, and that bomb has a big decision to make. It looks like they still want to commit to A. Ponchek is still going to go for this, and with Messi in the apartments, he's in toward Palace. He could have the drop on him. It's going to be all on this timing now. Ponchek clearing the A ramp, aware of a possibility of a player in towards the Palace as Messi starts to peek on out. If he can get that frag on site, this round becomes winnable. He's sneaking his way down the ladder. He's managed to avoid the crosshairs so far, and he's most of the way out onto the bomb site at this point. Ponchek is frightened, but he's going to catch his timing. So close again. Utter chaos in the server. Yeah. But it is going to be a 5th for Wisla, just about.
Here's the other detail as well. That bomb was planted terribly for jungle. They were completely isolated, right? If Ponchek goes down on site, he didn't have a kit, but if there was a kit there for Messi, that could have been their round, because the bomb was planted in about as awkward an angle as you can possibly do for a jungle player, right? You either got to get through the murder hole, get all the way around the ticket, or you got to just come racing out and get around the box. You might have been able to take an angle over stairs, actually, now that I think about it, because it was planted pretty far off of it, so that probably would have done it for you. But still, a bit of an awkward spot there. Could have worked out for GamerLegion once more. As it is, they're looking to put on a double-digit round. They'd love to have it after how dominant the start of this game was. I think, honestly, if you're Wisla, mentally what you have to say is, okay, Rusty had some nuts rounds at the beginning. Let's just ignore that those happened. This is a pretty even half if we didn't. We'll be fine. Flip the reset button as we come into the second. We'll be fine. We'll see if Rusty can do that same insane stuff. Otherwise, they're dead. Zero drops. Big opening kill already found. There's a player on site, but Adam, he's out in the open. He's seen 1. Can he get a second? He can indeed. Really nice play from Adam. He's been impressive. Win called upon. And now they're going to be bringing the pressure, but he could do further damage, and indeed he does, just dodging them for long enough. Certainly he's dead now. Yes, he is. But the trade might be there. It's not yet, but it is eventually. And that is a double-digit round for GamerLegion. What a half from them. What a half from Rusty. He slowed down a bit at the tail end, but I think he still ended up with something like 24 kills in half. This man is unreal today.
Yeah, they really needed double digits from him. They needed a double-digit half, given how dominant they were initially. It just felt like Wisla was starting to get back into things, starting to believe in themselves again, and really starting to take the momentum away. So to take that last one, to go into the half on double digits, is a solid point to be at for GamerLegion. Of course, we all know what Wisla can do. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can mount the comeback coming into the second half. All the pressure really on them to perform. GamerLegion just 6 rounds away from taking, I mean, in my opinion, one hell of an upset victory. And yeah, I think Rusty ended the half 24-9. So that is, yeah, not a bad performance at all. He definitely has slowed down a little bit, but I don't think you can complain about a man who's posted an ace, 2 4Ks, and a triple kill.
Yeah. Yeah. He's done everything. He's done so many. There were so many rounds where they had no business being in, and he just dominates. Or rounds where they should have won, everybody screws up and it looks like it's about to fall apart. And then Rusty's like, don't worry, guys. I got this. I got this. Just kill everybody. I mean, and that was the tale of the first half. It was, what, 7-1 at one point? 8-2 is the scoreline that I remember most clearly. And 4 of those rounds were just Rusty. Purely Rusty. And then several of the other rounds were mostly Rusty. Or there's that kill, the round where he gets 2 kills through smoke. There's so many impact rounds for Rusty. We can directly trace, I'd say, about 5 of the rounds that they won just to Rusty, and then more where he had impact on it. It's an incredible first half from Rusty. It really is, as an individual player. He has done so much to set up his team. They've got to win this one. If they don't, it would be so disappointing for GamerLegion. But half is reset. As we've said before, there's definitely a path into it. For Wisla, they can potentially do something. 5 rounds is enough. And if Rusty's not in that thermonuclear form that we've seen so far, maybe there won't be the sauce for GamerLegion to keep up with Wisla. Because we started to see that Wisla that we expect, that we saw on Overpass. We started to see that come alive at the end of the half.
Yeah, I think this pistol round is really going to be a show. What do I want to say? The word's just escaping me. Basically, it'll show us which way this one's going to go. If Wisla can find it in strong form, then I think they've got a real opportunity to come back into this. But Hades is going to immediately take a dink through a wall, go down to 26 HP. GamerLegion looking for the same pace we saw from Wisla, but Minio very quick on the jaw. Jedka gets another. And somehow, despite Jedka being on 1 HP and Hades on 26, this is 5v3. They're going to get themselves the afterplant at the very least. The extra $800 secured. But again, damage through the smoke. Rusty brought down to half. This is going to be very difficult for the T side to hold on to. There's no recovered USPs either to take the fights at range. That's a nice headshot from Rusty for the first. There's going to need to be a lot more where that came from. Smoke goes out. That should cover the front of the bomb, and they've got so much map control here. But it's Mezzi who finds another quick frag. Rusty just diving out, gets 2 more on the Glock, and how is Sparrow left all alone? Mezzi rips his head off, and GamerLegion, well, let's just let the madness continue, ladies and gentlemen. That should never have worked as well as it did.
He's back. It's Super Saiyan Rusty mode. 3 kills in the round, 367 damage in the round. So he actually got 3.5 kills. That's how much damage Rusty did. He nearly had another 4K. Oh man, this does not bode well because Wisla, they can't take the buffer of 5 Super Saiyan Rusty rounds. They got to end it now. They've got to get things going now. You really can't let him do this to you. As you were saying, that round should not have worked out. It looked so favorable for Wisla in a 5v3, even with 2 players low. Come on. You're USPs. You just got to hit the headshot. And that's what we expect from Wisla, but not in this matchup, it seems. GamerLegion are serving up just a ridiculous showing. I don't know how else to phrase it. Rusty is unreal. He's now at 27 kills, 3 away from hitting the 30 bomb. 1 round into the second half, and if he doesn't go beyond 30, if he doesn't top 35, I will be surprised here.
I think the only way he doesn't is if GamerLegion speedrun these remaining 5 rounds and he just doesn't get a show in anywhere on the server. It's going to be the fast play in towards the B-bomb site. Adam going to get dodged, at least for now, by the Deagle of Ponchek. He's actually going to find his frag as well through the smoke, but with that Mac-10 already so aggressive, Mezzi deals with the issue of the backstab, and just a scout and a Deagle remain for Jedka and Sphero. This has been really well dealt with. That force buy that we saw has just been dismantled by the fast B play, and yeah, as expected, it will be the save coming through. Rusty not getting himself any frags in this round. That's 12 on the board for GamerLegion, now just 4 away. They might be able to keep him from dropping that insane number a little while longer. But that is, yeah, just really clean, really well managed from GamerLegion. And for Jedka and Sphero, they just need to save to give themselves some kind of firepower moving into the next one.
You're going to get far enough away for these low HP players to not die to the bomb? Yes, they will. They'll be fine. No problem. So 4 players surviving here. Lots of money making its way into the next round, and this is going to be a round where you've got that scout, you got that deagle, but that's it. Don't invest too much. Don't fall into this trap, Wisla. We're going to see some more deeks come out. We have seen them hit some nuts deek shots, to be fair. we saw this. We saw, I think there was a full deco that they nearly won in the first half, except for, of course, Rusty. Who else? Coming back in. But, or no, was that the round that he got a 4K but they lost? I think that's what it was. That was the round where he got a 4K but they lost, is when they came in with the deco. That's a nice series of kills, or nades rather, for Sparrow. He's going to be taken low. Still gets the leg shot in the Mezzi. Takes him down to 30 points of health. So he's answered back his own damage. Has set that player up to be very vulnerable to the pistols. Mezzi's going to have to be a bit more cautious into this one. Let's see, GamerLegion, they're working on taking this mid control. There's still a player on Catwalk who they've got to be wary of. That's Jedker in the ladder room. Otherwise, vacant. Mid is ripe for the taking. And Minio towards ramp. This could be spicy. Zero wants to threaten, wants to come around the angle to set them up for an A take. But Minio, well, could have for the first shot.
He's looked very crisp on that deagle as well, playing on a slight off angle, but he's not going to land it. Only able to find the tag. Zero takes him down. That opens things up. The rotation's already being punished. Jedka goes down to the Galil of Mezzi, and they've managed to actually get Hades out onto the site early, but with just a USP even to work with, he really needs Posh Check on the deagle to do some work. He gets taken down by Adam, and this is where that nade damage comes in. Sphero able to at least get one, but on 4 HP now. Stuck in towards CT. There really shouldn't be anything more he can do. Mezzi finishes the job 13-5 before Wisla can even start to buy. No Rusty kills again, as you're right to point out. 27-8. He might not make it, but Wisla finally should be able to put up some kind of a resistance. AWP in the hands of Hades. Rifles for the remainder of the team. And GamerLegion looking for a little bit of a bonus. Adam's going to get himself a Mac 10. There's a Galil for Mezzi. Only 3 players on the AKs.
So maybe now's the time for Rusty to shine. I think your prediction might be coming true here. These last few rounds might just be so quick that they don't get a chance. You don't get Rusty a chance to shine because he hasn't died yet. What's hilarious is we're now 3 rounds in. He's only gotten kills in 1 of those rounds. He still has 122 ADR. That just gives you some context here about the kind of man we got in a Rusty form. Smoke in towards window. I think they just spotted. I think there was Menio poking into it. He's going to back off of it now, but this is a much slower paced round from GamerLegion. They're hanging out. They're waiting. They're seeing if the CT side is going to give them anything for free. Otherwise, they've now worked 2 players up towards Con, and look at how light this hold is towards A. They've put a lot of pressure on a Jedker. He's got to cover 2 angles. He gets the first. Now he has to be watching towards Palace. That's Rusty down as well, so no more kills in this round. Zero's made noise. They know that Zero's here. There's going to be the kills coming in. This is looking good now for Wisla. 2 players up. Minio coming back to secure Con, knowing that there's likely players coming from here since they took down the Palace approach. He's looking for Mezzi, and he's got him. The hunt is effective. There's not much that GamerLegion can do at this point. They are bundled up in mid. They've got a single Molotov to work with, and they're being punished. But Adam will hit the shot with the recovered Galil. That could be a difference maker, but it's still 2v4. They shouldn't have much. They're flanked out. Spiro can't hit his shots. He'll have to back off, but likewise, he hasn't taken any damage either.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. Saving what they've got. GamerLegion not going to be able to have any more impact in this round. And what initially looked like a really solid strat from Adam, he drew the rotations. I think the connector players just showed face a split second too soon there. It just gave enough time for Wisla. It gave them an idea of that the fake was coming in. And from there, they could start to rotate players through. They could start to reconsider their hold. And Jedka does a fantastic job of reading that connector aggression, finding himself the first pick, staying alive a while longer. Of course, there's plenty of bank left for GamerLegion, so they're still going to be buying into this one. There will be no Mac 10s, no Galils, full AK-47s for the T side, and a full bank of util behind it as well. As once again, GamerLegion lightning fast up short is Zero. Fully blinded though, and Jedka gets a freebie. Minio in with a second, and that whole mid control, that whole setup for a split B from GamerLegion is gone in an instant. Rusty is still alive, but only Era and Adam now to try and back him up and to try and get some kind of a pick to get into a bomb site.
Love these starts for Wisla. We said it. Once you get the guns out, obviously it gets tougher when you lose the pistol, but once you get the guns out, you can forget about that first half and you can just try and run this through. That's exactly what they're going to do. It's a long road. They're still at half of their opponent's scoreline right now. But it's a road that they've started down, and this would be a big round to head down that path. Big kill for Era, though. Hopping into the window, he'll lose most of his health, but that was a critical piece to take out because now it divides the map. It segments them, and it leaves both of these pairs of CTs in awkward circumstances. They know there's pressure coming from apartments. They haven't spotted the bomb either way. They know this could still be an A take. Bomb's now going to be retrieved. There's 40 seconds on the clock, and they got to make a choice. And the choice, it seems, is going to take them towards B. It's going to be Ponchek waiting on the other side of the smoke. He's actually just down towards the van. Adam's running with gun out. He should certainly be dead, but now they know that Ponchek's here. The molly goes in to clear it. He's still going to get the kill on Era, just sitting in the flames. And both these players survive for long enough. Rusty's got one, but now he has to do it all, and he's running out of time. 18 seconds. Certainly, he's over and done with, and indeed, it is Hades to take him out. It's a team ace for Wisla. And GamerLegion are starting to let their opponents creep back into this game, and that could be majorly problematic. We've seen it before. When this Wisla team heats up, they're difficult to stop. And I would also like to point out, very different scorelines. Wisla, team ace in that round, but we're also seeing it across the board. Everyone is contributing. There's not a huge spread. Top kill has 14, bottom 11. Very tight spread. On the other side, Rusty with 28. Next closest 17. Bottom of the board, we got a pair of 9s. So it has been a very top-heavy performance. That's obviously worked for GamerLegion. But what I will say is if that carry engine of Rusty starts to slow down, we could see Wisla creep back in.
Yeah. And it does feel like it's starting to slow as well. The frags not coming as freely as they did in the first half of GamerLegion. The shots not quite landing in the same manner. And the pause coming through, I think, from GamerLegion just to mentally reset at this point because their economy's not in a great spot. They can buy up if they want to. Or you look at the half buy with Deagles, Util, maybe some armor behind it as well. It does look like it will be the call. Try and do some damage because Wisla, despite starting to get back into this one, their CT economy isn't fantastic. Damage has been done multiple times by GamerLegion despite being in losing rounds. So a few players will struggle to reinvest if they are kept rebuying time and time again and they can finally break the deadlock. So 2 Deagles, make it 3, a couple of Tech 9s behind them. And what looks like a full A execute setup as well. Minio close under dark with the Jedka AK-47 behind him in CT. Going to be forced off by the Util for now, but there's Molotovs available as well. And now the push starts to come in. Minio under pressure, under dark, low. Caught in an awkward spot. Going to be taken down by Rusty. He spots out the CT player as well as he tries to jump onto Ticket above the smokes. And that's the first of the recovered rifles. Bomb looking to try and go down, but Hades has snuck his way into the fading smoke. Gets his first pick from jungle. Gets his second as well. And Hades is starting to tear this one apart. Jedka will come in with one from CT. This flank from Adam, a little too late for my liking. He'll find Hades regardless, but his team under pressure. He can't land the shot. Era can only get one more. They make it expensive on the half buy, but Wisla will still have the round, and the gap will narrow a little bit further. Just 5 rounds between these two teams now.
And Wisla had enough to deal with that, right? They had enough of a cushion built up that they can weather around where, yes, it was way too expensive. But considering the rounds that we've had, considering the way some of these are broken down, Wisla, I think, are breathing a sigh of relief here. 5 rounds separate these teams. This is now very doable. Another gun round coming through here. But again, nothing in the tank, nothing in store. Look at this aggression from Minio. This is the change-up. He's gone forward, but instead of going for that full push top mid, he's sitting in the smoke. And they've now taken the boxes. This could get spicy. He's standing out in the open. This is so ballsy. Does this work? Era's setting up utility. Era's going to be dead. No, he looks away. He still gets the kill. Does he realize the player's top boxes? No. Does get traded by Mezzi. A little bit of damage on the Mezzi. I don't know if that was a worthwhile exchange. Minio, once you're standing out in the open on catwalk, I feel like you got to be a little more decisive in your peaks. That was very awkward, and I'm amazed he wound up getting a kill from that.
Yeah, Era seemed to react to it and just start to get his rifle out, but couldn't quite finish the job. So a little unfortunate there for GamerLegion, but Mezzi in the right place at the right time will find himself the trade, and this setup looking pretty solid so far for GamerLegion. As you said, I think Minio, that 1-for-1 top mid, really isn't fantastic for the CT side. It forces them to an awkward spot with their hold where you can see Jedka wants to sort of float in CT and mind the murder hole, watch for rotations, but it's going to leave an isolated AWP in Hades. Not a lot of information at all for the CT side. Ponchek does Just spot out Adam, who's going to go through regardless, jumping out the window, and he's getting a lot of map here. Sphero will take the fight and go down, and he knows there's Ponchek still lurking there, so Rusty through the top of the smoke will take him out, and 4-on-2. Jedka's in a very awkward spot, trying to be proactive, I think trying to deny bomb plant, and with 10 seconds left, that could still work, but Rusty will recover, and it's all onto Hades, a 1v3 required from inside of the kitchen, and he's got so many players to deal with.
He's got to save this. They've got zero incentive to push him. He had the kit, but he doesn't have a smoke, which might even allow him the chance for the defuse. He's got to back the heck off, and he's going to do exactly that because this op is so critical. You look at their money, it's fragile. Hades will be able to drop one, but it's no loss bonus, so we're coming in at the $1,400 made. Jedker can maybe put together something. Someone's going to be on a deagle. Two someone's are probably going to be on a deagle, and honestly, they might just elect to take the save here. Whatever it is, at least you still have this op to fight with the next. GamerLegion are creeping ever closer to the win. Rusty has hit the 30 bomb.
Hey.
He's 30-11. Obviously, this second half, he's slowed down quite a bit, partially because I think the rest of his team's just stepped up nicely. Adam, in particular, is a player I'm looking at who's had some very nice rounds. He was solid in the first half, but he's had some particularly nice rounds in the second, just creeping forward and eliminating positions. Whatever it is, GamerLegion now 2 away from the dub, and look at that economy. They go for the double up. Okay, well, that's one way to spend your money. They don't have much in terms of utility. They got something on the oppers, actually, because that's who had money left over. What is this?
This is an all-or-nothing call from the CT side. This is, okay, we either win this, we keep both AWPs, and we start to train it back, or we have absolutely shredded our economy on a 1-round loss bonus and 15 goes away and we are done for. So it's a big call. I like the idea behind the double AWPs. Hades holds down middle. Sphero used to get aggressive down into the A ramp, but with that Palace lurk from Zero, it really nullifies all that aggression that they've managed to get on the CT side. They're aware that by no means have they locked out that A-bomb site, right? They have to stick around. Sphero's AWP is going to have to stay if they want to maintain that presence over on the A-bomb site. They can't afford to rotate away now because they've had nobody watching Palace for so long that there could just be a player watching for that exact rotate. And he's going to get so much info here. Zero's going to hear the footsteps. Minio will push all the way through. Sphero will reset into CT, but it looks like a collapse onto an A-bomb site with only an AWP to hold it down. Through the smoke goes Messi, and there's the shot. One AWP removed basically for free. A scrambled rotation coming in from Hades, but he doesn't expect the aggression from Adam. He goes down, and I think the round goes with it. Minio's flank on the A ramp isn't going to get him anything. That bomb not even planted in his sights, so the MP9 will look for what damage it can find. That M4 of Jedka, I think, is already thinking about the save over towards the B-bomb site with the Deagle behind him to try and back him up. But of course, GamerLegion, they're not going to let it go that easily. Era gets another. Jedka goes down, and the all-or-nothing call, well, I think it's safe to say it's landed on the nothing side.
That is not the side of the coin flip you wanted. Wisla, I think, might just be bowing out of this one. That said, we have seen them pull off some nutty things with Deagles before, so might be able to put up a fight. But now at a 7-round deficit with map point found by your opponents, it seems like it's only a matter of time now. And GamerLegion, it has been good from the rest, which is nice to see. You know, it's nice to see everybody but Rusty step up. As much fun as it is to look at insanely lofty numbers and crazy individual performance, from a team perspective, it is a lot more heartening to see everyone start to make an impact and to not it all be centered in one guy pulling off a nutty 4K that he should never get in a million years. Deagle's out to round out this buy. Of course, that's what's going to come through. They've got to do something. Ponchek did at least get an M4. So they got one rifle to work around. And it seems like this crunch in mid could actually be quite potent. Rusty's already up by the smoke. Sparrow's looking for it. Rusty's looking for it. Who's going to pull the trigger first? They were eye to eye with a smoke in between them, but neither knows. And actually, it seems like it's Wisla who's blinking first. They're backing off of this mid-crunch. That could have been it. If they'd managed to get a crossfire up on these two players who pushed, that could have been huge. But it's not going to happen. They're going to back out. Nice nade. Yeah, okay nade. And now GamerLegion are well poised for an A-take, and there's only one player on site. It's just Jedker, who's got so many players to deal with. Everyone else is rotating. Jedker is now dead. There's no one here. They'll have Hades coming back in from ticket, but he's got a Deagle, not an op. What's he going to do? What's he gonna do? He's gonna rip someone's head off, as is Spiro. Hades going in for more. Hades getting it! What is happening? Hades! Pulling out some magic. Pulling out some mystery. Mezzi in a 1v1 now as he's brought 2 kills in. Spiro has the op. Mezzi has no health. The pistol would do it. I think Spiro's gotten that call. This nade would do it as well. Does that come over? The HE, all he needs. But Mezzi's looking for the kill. He doesn't just want the plant, and he's managed to slip away. He's got 30 seconds. Could take this towards B. He'd have to go quick, and I think Spiro would hear the footsteps. But it seems like Mezzi's just going to be content to wait and see if Spiro will serve himself on a silver platter. Neither player is flinching. They are still as statues right now, but Mezzi has to make the move. He's got to plant the bomb, and he's exposed. Spiro's come off the angle. Is he just going to wait for the tick again and throw the HE? That would do it. No, he's going to go for the shot, and the player's exposed. That is Spiro who hangs on. It almost seemed like Mezzi could do it, but Hades' big 3K was too much for them to overcome. And Wisla, they are still in this game.
What is it with Wisla and Deagles, man? They just seem to click so fundamentally. And GamerLegion, a round that should have easily been theirs, goes the other way. CT side, 1 away from double digits, keeping themselves in this just about. Of course, GamerLegion's still very much got a full buy on their hands, and there are still very much some sacrifices from Wisla. 2 MP9s, in fact, for Ponchek and Jedka, respectively. All in the hand of Hades. No double big green setup this time. GamerLegion, I think, giving Wisla a lot more respect in this one. Much slower on their initial control. They have managed to get Mezzi out towards top mid. But playing it with a lot more caution than we saw in the previous. Very aware what that firepower can really do for Wisla. It's been incredibly impressive how many times they've dragged themselves back into rounds they had no business in. Especially over on this CT side. And now, here we go. 3 players snuck up short for the T side. 2 looking to make their presence known in the apartments. Ponchek, he needs multiple frags here. He needs to bail his teammate out because Sfero's stuck on site. They've read his position beautifully. Sfero will only get 1. And Minio, already looking to go quickly, manages to level things out at 3-on-3. The nade will come in to stop him pushing any further. Bomb will be dialed. And Wisla, they need a retake to keep themselves alive.
This is such a tough retake as well. Coming out the market, Jedka trades 1 for 1. That's honestly better than I expected. Should be a massacre angle as they come through. Now you've got the up, you've got the MP9. No utility, so it's kills or bust. Shots hit, but no killing blows just yet. Hades will get 1. Now a 1v1. He knows where Adam is, but coming back in with an up, he hits it! Adam peeks! There was no need to peek. You play the time there. Man doesn't even have a kit, but he gives it to him. And Hades will absolutely take it. 2 kills and a clutch coming through. What a round for Hades. That is now back-to-back rounds where Hades has bailed out his team. First with the Deagle 3K, and then with the op 1v2 clutch. Well, wasn't actually a 1v2, but clutch, whatever it is. What a showing from this man to try and drag them back in. We're 5 rounds separate, but the money's run into a bit of a rocky road. They can get a half buy going here, but GamerLegion, I don't think they need to fully invest here. Take a deep breath, buy what you can. You know, do a little meditation, a little mindful meditation, calm the nerves, and then take it on your gun round.
Yeah, for sure. There's still more 5 chances. Words. Hello. There's still 5 more chances for GamerLegion to finish the
How
job.
did the English language work? That was like German sentence structure.
Yeah.
You flipped it.
It was just GamerLegion, you know, they got the German flag. I went for the German. I don't know what I was doing. It just happens sometimes. They're going to go for the half buy regardless. A couple of Deagles, the tech, 2 MAC-10s. Hope to do some damage because, as we've pointed out so many times, that CT economy is so fragile. And Wisla, they really have nothing to back them up. If they can find multiple frags on the T side here, they can do a lot of damage, and they are going very quickly towards that B-bomb site. A little bit of damage done by the nades, but they're already out. Van Adams got himself the first. Ponchek needs to stay alive, and he's only found 1 before the trade. Minio anchors the mid-control. Fast rotation, but it's still 2-on-2, and Hades, he's trying to battle AWP this. He's already all the way onto the site. He's got to find such a quick frag, and Era takes him out. It's all on Jedka. His aggression finds him 1, and it's on to Mezzi. The Deagle will finish it. How is that the round that finishes this game?